on? Hope everyone's good. Super excited to be doing my first review of 2021. It's been a little bit busy, what with lockdown and homeschooling, but I've got some rhythm again, and hopefully I'll be able to show you a number of new styles and colours from different brands. So today I'm looking at Camilla from the John Renua Monotop collection in the colour 6. So those of you who are not familiar with the Monotop collection, they come in, this is the lid, but they come in the black box with the lovely tissue and the monotop there. Now what effectively monotop means is monofilament top, but they are a collection that have a double monofilament. They don't have that smart lace front, but they do have a really nice closed front, which I'll show you. So Camilla is a really, really gorgeous long style with a fringe. So I'm going to show you inside the cap first of all, then I'm going to go and put her on. You know the drill. So the Monotop collection is all hand-tied. So you will be familiar, if you're familiar with John Renua hand-tied caps, you'll see that they have that similar structure where you have that nape. In this one you've got an extended nape. You've got those velvet tabs with the metal stays, but this whole section is hand-tied, as you can see. And that gives you really lovely natural movement with that. But if you have a look around the top there, you'll see this full monofilament, but it is double. Now if I show you, you can see that I will give that a little pull. You can see that's double. Now this section is so super soft, and for those of you who struggle with the single monofilament being a bit scratchy on the top, this is a really good option, because that is really lovely silk. Because the difference that you'll find, and I'll show you in a moment, is that with the single monofilament you have the knotting more on your head, on your scalp, whereas that double monofilament just gives you that super soft bit there. You have, this is really great, it's a PU section here. I find that the PU section just in itself has a little bit of anti-slip, so that when it's on your head it gives you that little bit of grip, but equally people can use tape or glue on that section there to hold that in place if they feel they need that added security. This doesn't have a lace front, but what it has is a closed, see if that'll pick that up, there we go. Can you see that closed Swiss lace? Now the Swiss lace is softer than that welded lace, yeah, so you've got that beautiful Swiss lace. That ventilation, so the hairs are knotted underneath, so where you don't have that lace front, it still gives you a realistic front. But the majority of the Monotop collection are have like fringes or bangs or whatever you want to say. I'm just going to show you something else. This is my Rachel, so just ignore the colour, we're not talking about that. I want to show you the inside, this single monofilament top. Can you see? Can you hear that? That's the texture, like it's a teeny bit coarse, yeah? Because actually you've got these dotty bits. So that isn't a smooth texture on the single monofilament. So if you're struggling with comfort on a single monofilament and also with that welded lace, the Monotop collection may be the solution for your comfort needs. So I'll show you again. There we go. That's beautiful. So the added bonus of that double monofilament, which may seem teeny tiny, but it's actually quite a big deal, is that with the dark knots, you know, we talk about visibility with the synthetic pieces. This is synthetic, by the way. The visibility of those knots. Now, obviously you don't have a lace front, so you're not struggling with that anyway. But when you're looking at the knots in the hairline, because you have that extra layer, because you have that extra layer, there it is, of monofilament, it does go some extra way to disguising that knot look. If I compare it to, and I'm using this one because it does have a dark root, albeit it's a redder tone of hair, but now I'm hoping that comparison is picked up there. But it is subtle, it's a subtle thing, but for me I always look at the double monofilament and knots and I think, oh, they just look a little bit softer. So I'm going to go and put her on, and then I will talk to you about the style and the colour and all of the things, the pros and cons, etc. But so this is the colour 6, which is a lovely dark brown. I liken it to the human hair colour 4. I find that the 6 in synthetic is a fairly dark brown, and the 4 in the synthetic is super dark brown. So I always opt for the 6 to be a dark brunette with some warmth, but we will come back to that. You'll see it on. Okay, I shall be back shortly. Hiya, here she is. Super long, super gorgeous. So as I said, she's a synthetic piece from the Monotop collection, and she's effectively all one length apart from this lovely fringe, which I have swept. I like to wear my hair in a left hand part, so I've just moved her a little bit and I've swept her the side there, but there's quite a lot in terms of that fringe, can you see, to play around with. So you can actually wear this fringe, you know, centre parting kind of bangs, or you could sweep it all to one side, or you could trim it in and have it hard edge. So it's a really lovely length for you to be able to customise and cut and do anything with it. But I'm kind of wearing it like this at the minute. I've worn her for a couple of days, so to kind of get the feel for it, but this is how I used to wear my hair. So as you can see, I find her density to be super light for a long synthetic. And this Monotop collection, I don't know whether it's something to do with the cap construction or whether it is the density of it, or, you know, ever so slight differences in these collections, but I find that I can get a really lovely ear tuck from her, and just sits nice and smooth. Can you see? I haven't cut my baby hairs in yet. I will do, and that will then make that even more wonderful. But I liked it, and that was one of the reasons that I got one for myself, because when I tried one on, I was like, oh yeah, that is really nice. Can you see? To get that tucking behind there. And I do find, you know, some wigs too much around here and you've got to thin, and that's all great. And if you've got a stylist who can do that for you, or you're confident to do these things by yourself, but it is lovely if you can just get some of those basic things like density right first time. So I think if you're looking for something that sits nice and snug to your head and has that ability to tuck and feel light, then, you know, it's really lovely to have that straight out of the box. In terms of cap fit, as we know, I'm slightly more on the petite, so I always have a little bit of excess here, but this is average, and it fits me really beautifully. And I would give a little adjustment here if I was feeling a bit picky, but behind my ear, a touch lower than I would say was perfect, but I've been wearing it and it hasn't been cutting, so it's just on that edge, you can see. But generally for an average cap, I think it's fairly true to size, and if you're slightly petite, it's not going to drown you. And I know there are some brands that their average are really big, and if you're petite, that just puts them out. It means that you have to disregard them because they're just too big. So, okay, I want to give you the lengths here, and I'm going to kind of do a little levitation because I know that I haven't kind of got the full length in, but have a little look at where it sits here, just above. So this is 5.5, but it's quite the fringe, but it's quite feathered, and it's not a hard edge, and it kind of gets a little bit flicky here, which I love. Now the crown, so this is your, you know, how gives you an indication of how long it is 18 inches. So, and it's effectively that kind of 18 inches all the way around, but the sides are 15 and the nape is 12. But that creates this all one length look with those lengths. Okay. I just think she's a really, really nice, straightforward, long hair with a bit of detail with that fringe around the front. In terms of this front, now, as you already know, it has not got a lace front. It has a closed Swiss lace with under ventilation. Now what that means is that whilst you could wear it off your face if you wanted to, because actually it does have quite a nice front to it, it's not the style that they have the fringes because they recognise that you don't have that lace front. But if I show you, let me see if I can get in close. So that under ventilation means I'm not seeing wig edge, I'm seeing ever so slight under ventilation knot. So the point is, if you get blown in the wind, it doesn't look like a hard wig edge. Yeah. So I think that's a really nice solution for not a lace front. Okay. And do you remember I said about that PU bit there? That has stuck me, like it's adhered. I don't know if you can hear it peeling off, but it gives a real bit of grip, so it's not going anywhere, which is really great. Okay, I've got some accessories here because I just thought I hadn't tried them, and sometimes I find headbands and where the density is too much, they look weird, look odd. I can't get on board with it, so I wanted to try this one. There we are. See? Cute as, no? Oh yeah. Okay, I think that's it really. I'm a little bit like rusty with the reviews, so I had to do, you see, I had to do a list and I've forgotten. So, the one thing that people talk about with synthetic hair that is super long is the tangling and the matting and all of those things. With long synthetic hair, absolutely you need to consider that at the back mainly it's prone to tangling. There are detangler sprays, there are wonderful combs, but it doesn't stop the fact that the longer you go in length, the more likely it is that you're going to get the tangling. Someone like myself, I've been wearing wigs for years. I just now know and accept it as part of it, and I do think about it. So I did think about that with this one, and I know that I have to always have my wide tooth comb if I'm going out. No one's going out in a minute, but a couple of times a day I might just quickly just run the comb through it just to keep on top of it. It doesn't go crazy in that it goes whoosh up the back. It's not human hair. You can't run your fingers through synthetic hair in the same way that you can human hair, whether it's short or whether it's long. But it does feel, the fibres of Jon Renau always feel super soft. And if you use the correct maintenance routine, so you're washing and conditioning and using detangler and storing and combing and doing all of those things, you're going to prolong the life of those fibres. But yes, you absolutely have to consider those longer lengths. But I love the long hair. I love that I can, as I've said before, because of the density, I can do this, which is always my favourite way of wearing long hair, just pin it around the side. And actually doing something like that with a soft hairband, scrunchies the back, means that, especially silk scrunchie, or a silk ribbon or something that's silk. Silk is always fantastic for stopping those fibres from rubbing. So always think about that as well, and what you use and put in the hair. A traditional hairband is going to put stress on those fibres. and drag and all of those sorts of things. Okay, so that is the wonderful Camilla. I love her.